Sean Maguire,
Yes.
what is it like to be hated by every lesbian fan of your show?
Brilliant question. Do you know what? It's been a bit of a weird journey with that because I started off, I've played gay, a lot of my best friends are gay, and I've always been an advocate for equality and things like that. And at the beginning of the show, when I wasn't with Regina, I got a lot of love from gay fans and stuff. And then I guess somewhere around Robin and Regina starting to date, the tide turned a little bit. But the thing is, I've got a lot of friends who are lesbians and are gay, some of them very, very close to me. And they, when I've sort of told them about this, they're like, well, that doesn't represent us. There's a minority that will hate me no matter what I do.
Definitely.
And the thing is, to try and appease those people really only gives it traction. So I think most people that are real fans of the show, and anybody that's ever read my interactions on Twitter, maybe with one or two exceptions, kind of get a sense of who I am.
Okay. Well, Robin's pretty damn awesome.
I like him. I think he's cool. Maybe...
He's in a bit of a bind, though, at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, people that don't like me personally or don't like Robin, obviously are going to sort of say, well, he spent the night with Regina when his wife was still married. Yes, that's true. He is not a perfect guy.
But true love is like a thing. It
Yeah,
seems
and
to
also
matter.
he was married and his wife died and, he mourned her and then he fell in love and started a relationship. Then she came back and it's a very unusual, unorthodox situation. So it's difficult for him. But the thing is, I think people are sort of thinking that I defend Robin and say, well, all of his actions are defensible. They're not. He's a fallible human guy, just like I am. And I may have said some things that maybe pissed people off. But to be honest, I know what I want. And I think Robin knows what he wants. And both of us are imperfect. And both of us are going to end up where we end up, whether people win, love, or hate us. So we just have to kind of throw the dice and let the chips fall where they may.
How do you think Marion is dealing with the whole true love thing, even now that you've left Storybrooke?
Well, this Sunday is a Robin Hood-based, sort of a Robin Hood-centric episode, and it goes into a lot of that. And it goes into how he feels, and it goes into why he's going to do what he does, which is not what a lot of people think. I think people think they know where it's going, and to some degree they do, but there's some turns that I certainly know the fans are not aware of. And even when it's all revealed and everything is done and everything is said, people are still going to be pissed off. It's just the nature.
That's how it goes.
When the market is millions and millions of people the world round, some people are going to be really pissed off. And no matter what I do, even if I was to go to the High Court judge and make it legal, which I think it should be for all gay people to marry, there would still be people that hate me.
Yeah,
so.
Swan Queen still.
It's okay, but it's okay. But like, there's lots of Swan Queen.
You can have both.
There's lots of Swan Queeners who have written to me, and they're like, "Look, I don't like you, or I don't like Robin, but I don't.
Wow.
I don't. But that's okay.
That's harsh.
Not really. Not compared with some of the things I've had said to me. But the point is, when you cater to a mass audience, it's very important, and this is a human thing. I don't know about you, but I would like everyone to like me. Most of us do. But you can't. You just can't. There's people out there that don't like the Beatles. I don't really understand that, but that's true. They don't. So you can't convince everyone, and you can't win over everybody. And frankly, nor should you try. You just got to be who you're going to be, and let people make up their own mind.
Okay. So here's a very important question.
Yes.
Okay. If you were Robin now, and was stealing from the rich, what rich would you steal from? And which poor would you give it to?
You ask really good questions.
I'm sorry.
You're really helping me. This is what I want to... Oh, there's so many people. I would steal from the 1%.
Yep. Any specific 1%?
Yeah. The bankers, the financial institutions, all the people that robbed all the hard-working class people of all their savings in 2008 and completely screw the world up. I would go straight for them. I would take everything they have so that they know what poverty feels like, or trying to put food on the table for your working class family. I would give it to them, and I would give it to... God, there's so many interest groups. The first people I give it to is the wounded veterans that have come back from Iraq and Afghanistan, because the government is neglecting them, which is just an atrocity. And there's just so many other groups, people that, farmers who are hanging themselves in their barn because they can't produce their crops. But there's so many people that need help that are not getting it. And I know, I'm a big Obama fan, and I know that he's probably doing his best, but like everything, he can't solve all of the problems. No one person can. But But yes, thank you for asking me that question. That actually feels quite cathartic to be able to say that out loud in an interview.
Well, why isn't Robin stealing in the show? He's been very law-abiding.
Yeah, because I think up until now, we've really been focusing on his relationship with Regina. We haven't seen a lot of what is Robin doing on a day-to-day basis when he's not running after Regina to try and kiss her.
He has to have hobbies other than that.
Yeah, well, this week, you know, in this episode that we're coming up, it shows quite a spectrum of his life in the past and in the present, and without giving too much away, I think, for me, reading it as a script, I was like, this goes a long way to explaining some stuff, but not all stuff, because life never is explained in a nice half-hour or hour show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel it's easier to defend him as a character when this episode airs. Okay. I think when people see it, as I say, there's still going to be some people that hate me, you know, or hate Robin, but you know, that's how it will be.
But he's Robin Hood. Like, even if he is not a fox, like, he's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so too. But again, I was talking to somebody downstairs, one of the other actors, and we were talking about, you know, interactions on Twitter and things like that. And it's just, sometimes there are some people I think that don't even particularly hate a group or a person, but their friends do, and you're kind of like, oh, it's like supporting a football team. It's like, all right, I'll join in. And it's easily done. We're easily coerced sometimes.
Actually, that really sums up fandom. It's just football teams.
Sort of, you know, and sometimes, you know, I support Tottenham Hotspur, but I don't really cry if they lose on a Saturday. But it depends. I think sometimes with this age that we're in with social media, when you have spare time on your hands, and we all have that device in our pocket all the time now, you know, you're bored, you're waiting for a lift, you're waiting for a bus, you stand there and you sort of go, oh, I'll go on that, and you see something that evokes an emotion, you go, yeah, favour, or yeah, retweet. The only issue I would have with Twitter is, and certainly anybody that wants to write to me and have a coherent kind of conversation, put your face on there and put your name on there as well, because I'd love to talk to the person rather than an icon or a silly name, because I'm more than willing to listen to anybody. If someone says, look, I really don't like you and here's why, I would respond in a positive, in a mature way.
Do you really want to be putting that out on the screen?
Absolutely. Honestly, I really don't mind, because I think if you say I don't like Robin because I think he's an adulterer, I'm like, right, and you were absolutely right, and he did, under whatever guise it was, he did do that.
Still totally reasonable.
But they're allowed. But that's having a discussion.
It is.
Just saying you want to kill me or you want to hurt people that are close to me. That to me is, I don't mind. Even if you want to do that, put your face there. Be brave enough. I find a lot of bullies are often cowards. Yeah. It's very easy to be invisible and hide behind the couch and say what you want to say. I think if you've got an opinion, if you stand behind it, put your name in your face there too. Let's have this conversation between two humans, not two kind of shifty icons that nobody really knows who they are.
And also, if you are going to the death threats, put your address there too, so you can be arrested.
Yes. The thing is, I don't really worry too much because I'm not a beetle. I don't think anyone's looking to shoot me. But the problem is with death threats and stuff, the people that work with me and the show, we have to take that seriously. So if you are going to write things like you want to kill me, just don't be surprised if the FBI turn up about a week later and be like, you're not allowed to do that. So, yeah, that's just not smart, I think, across the board. But I'm very, very willing to take any kind of criticisms that people want, especially if they're well-founded and well-articulated. I'm like, good for you. At least you can string a sentence together.
Well, good to know. But now, to finish this off on a lighter note.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one of these two options, being attacked by 12 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Definitely one horse-sized duck.
Really?
Yeah, if you think about it. Well, because one horse-sized duck, I mean, let's just say it's like a horse, then, well, as men, I think we figured out how you could kill a horse. But if there's 12 little things, like just like in Jurassic Park, those little things, they all start crabbling around and then they start nipping at you, that would freak me out a little bit. I'm like, one horse, right, get a spear. Or get a bow and arrow and shoot him. But I wouldn't like that because I like ducks and like horses. But
it would be pretty delicious to have a giant duck.
Well, a duck, a nice Peking duck that's the size of a horse, you could cater to a lot of people.
You could feed, that'd be like wedding.
Yeah, you could.
You could cater Regina and Robin's wedding.
Yeah, I think we both like Peking duck, so yeah. And there's a big cast, so we might need that.
Cool, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Cheers.